What's up everyone, welcome back. So as you guys can see by the thumbnail, one of my old girls, they're gonna leave. It was, an opportunity came up and you guys will go to see later on, but I'm not gonna spoil it right now. This is just a teaser. It was a very, very hard decision for me to make. This was one of those deals that I could not pass up. This vehicle does need some work, but not as much work as this one will be. In the future, I definitely see myself getting another one, but for now, where I'm currently at right now, it's gonna take a good while for me to get it where I wanted it. I had to make a compromise, and again, looking at the pros and cons, it was very, very hard for me to make this decision. And again, I was very proud because I have two JDM legends, in my opinion. This was one of those things where I cannot pass up that deal. So just because it might leave now does not mean we're not gonna have it again in the future. It's definitely a promise. We're gonna have it again in the future. So which do you guys think is leaving? Leave it in the comments below. But all right, well, without further ado, the one that's gonna be leaving is gonna be the 240. This car has a lot of sentimental value for me. Reason being is that I wanted to buy a project car that I can invest some time in, where for one, it could teach me mechanics, because I don't know nothing about mechanics. That just teach me the basic stuff, oil changes, changing the brakes, things like that, Unfortunately, I was not in a position, or did I have family members, my immediate family, that knew mechanics, so we always relied on other mechanics. Nowadays, it's very hard to find somebody who has a good reputation, Unfortunately, I didn't have the money to take it to one of those certified shops, which they're pretty expensive, and I live in the ghetto, so a lot of these shops there, they might be certified, but if you look at their lot, where the place they work at, it's completely filthy, completely packed with a bunch of projects that they haven't even finished. It looks like a junkyard, and to me, that alone says a lot. So we always relied on other mechanics based off of referrals. Some were good, some were bad. I would say 3 times I've gotten screwed over. So it just finally got to the point I was like, you know what? I need a car that I can buy. It could be cheap, well, somewhat cheap, and that 4 cylinders, preferably manual, something that I can learn how to maintain cars, in addition to learning how to upgrade the cars, whether cosmetically, performance-wise, maintenance-wise, anything. Basically, one platform that could teach me everything I wanted to learn about cars. This was the one car that was gonna give me that opportunity. The Z, I love that car. That car is never gonna leave. It does need some work, but it does not need anywhere as much as this car needs. This car needs a lot. Even though it's a unicorn, it is stock. The only major thing we've done is convert it to the 5-speed manual. So we got it off of another 240 at the junkyard, and I've installed a brand new flywheel, new clutch, slave cylinder, master cylinder, buying the used drive shaft, because the drive shaft for the manual and automatic, they're 2 different sizes. But that alone allowed me the opportunity to learn a lot. I've never been hands-on that deep where I'm taking out a motor or transmission, or let alone converting it. It was definitely rewarding. Thanks to my buddy Nick. If it wasn't for Nick, the opportunity for me to buy this car would have never been there to begin with. The opportunity for him to help me convert it to a manual, that would have never happened. I owe this vehicle all to Nick. Nick is my buddy, he's the one that we had the channel going along together and stuff, but he signed up for the Navy. I'm proud of this guy. He shipped out to Washington, so that's where he's at right now. But it was very hard because I didn't want to let this car go just to anybody, because nowadays it's very, very hard to find a stock 240. Yes, it does need some work, but it's all stock. Suspension, motor, body panels, interior is very hard. And the ones that I found that's either aftermarket suspension or has some work done to the motor, or some panels are all color mismatched and stuff. So I don't want to buy somebody else's project car. So this was an automatic. So this is an 89 Nissan 240sx hatchback. It was automatic. So just to give you a little bit of backstory regarding this car, the way I came across it was, I mentioned to my buddy Nick that I really, really wanted a 240, Because the Z, I love it, it's great, it's manual, but it is a 6-cylinder. That thing is not so good on the gas mileage, but I love that damn car. But I did want a little 4-cylinder. I've never driven a 4-cylinder manual. So I told him I really want a 240 platform, It seems like there's so many variations, whether the S13, S14, not so much for the S15 because it's not in the US, but S13, S14, my dream 240 is gonna be the S14 Koki. That's the one car that I am after, and once I get that car, I'm never gonna let it go. Same thing with my Z. But in the meantime, to get into the S chassis scene, this S13 hatchback was a great entry-level car for me. So my buddy told him, Nick, you know, I really want a 240, and he informed me, you know, he told me like, well, I actually have a buddy of mine that he actually has a 240sx hatchback that he's trying to sell to me, but he sold it to me for a deal. I'm like, dude, if your buddy can sell it to me at that price, I would buy the car today. So my buddy Nick reached out to his friend, told him, hey, I have a friend of mine who's interested. He's like, oh, you know, homie discount. Anyways, you know, I'm gonna have to sell it for more. Either which way, the price that he came up on me was still a steal. So the next day, told him I'm getting the car. Gotta replace the motor mount. So would you look at this freaking, I was wondering why my sub would sound like shit. This sub is so old, that shit tore. Damn, I got too much bass going on, man. Just blew the damn thing. And of course, you know, having a 240, you always gotta have a jumper pack. You never know if this thing's gonna break down on you for whatever reason. More mess I gotta clear out. Sorry, it's just messy, it's my daily. So I bought this carpet cover. It looks like that, gives it like that old retro look, but once upon a time I did have a perfectly super clean dash with no cracks up until I just go into my car and then I see a huge ass crack. Let me show you guys. So that's what it looks like. Super clean, and damn! I almost wanted to cry when I saw this. I should have gotten a damn cover beforehand. I was proud of not having a crack on my dash and I got hit with it. It's not that, well, it is pretty bad. But yeah, that's where it's at. And this little unfortunate event. Long story short, there was a freaking shooting down my street where I had my car parked at, and a few cars got hit, one of them being mine. And of course it came this direction, shattered the glass right here. It actually hit the B pillar from the inside. I'll have the picture somewhere right here. But yeah, that's what it looks like. I was super pissed, but I didn't find out until I got to work. And I didn't hear no wind noise, no glass shattering, nothing until I got to work. I'm walking around my car just to double check them because again, it's an 89, so it doesn't have no remote lock. So I have to physically check all the locks to make sure my car was closed. And I come over here, my entire window was shattered. So it held in place. I do have tin on it. You know, my ghetto ass put tape on it first, but wasn't holding that well. And you know, of course I have so much vinyl laying around. I ended up putting vinyl because it started raining in the next upcoming days. Hey bro, vinyl wrap fixing everything. But at least I kept the water out. So called my local window shops, and apparently this window's pretty hard to find, which I expected. A few places couldn't even find the glass, and one spot found it for 250 bucks. 250 bucks, brand new. There's no point in me trying to get it fixed up because I am getting rid of it. You know, it is going to a good home, but I need to start saving my pennies for the other car. All right, so let me go ahead and clean this up, make it look presentable for Nick, and get back at you guys. All Alright guys, so the time has come. I put some time into the car. The car's now actually clean. And this one looks like it's just coming out from the dealership. There's nothing in there anymore. Nice and clean. I'm gonna miss this car. I haven't washed the outside because it keeps raining, so I'll just leave it as is. Oh, let me pop the head. And I got rid of all my junk from the back. Nice and clean. So the hatch is not perfect, but the majority of the interior is still intact, so not bad. And then just a few little extra car parts here and there. And then I'm also giving Nick the Z32 front brake calipers so he can do the conversion. And definitely got lucky on this leather cover for the sunroof at the junkyard. So it's a little bit dirty because it was that hatch did have a hole and it was raining, so all the stuff in the hatch was wet, but just a good cleaning and leather condition of this thing is good to go. It does have a few tears and he drilled a hole through it, but the fact that I even found one is even rare. All right, so I got this whole side cleaned up. Just to show you the original carpet for this color. Like, look how perfect that is. Yep, so she's all good to go. Alright, so at this time, the car's sold. I already got payment for the car, so at this time I'm just holding on to the car for my buddy so he can figure out how to get it shipped to him. So that is going to take a few weeks for him to arrange, but in the meantime, she's ready to go. Title is already his, and this thing will be missed. But stay tuned guys for the next video, which we have already made the payment for the new car. I'm excited, looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys like it. The money that I made off of the 240 is the money that I bought the secondary car, which was a steal. I cannot believe I got this car for that price, but you guys will see in a bit. Stay tuned for the next video, like I said. And this is the last time I find a walk around, and this thing will be gone. Alright guys, stay tuned for the next video and have a good one. Peace. It's the time it is.